Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this morning's Atlantic Basin Tropical Update. So, looking at Tropical Storm Franklin as of 5 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time, Saturday, August the 26th, 2023. Tropical Storm Franklin has maximum sustained winds of 65 miles per hour, a minimum central pressure of 992 millibars, and east-northeasterly movement at 6 miles per hour. Looking at Invest 92L, we have a 20% chance of tropical cyclone formation over the next 48 hours and a 40% chance of tropical cyclone formation over the next 7 days. So chances have slightly decreased for Invest 92L. And then we have a new system coming off of Africa with a 20% chance of tropical cyclone formation over the next 7 days. And then looking at our main focus of this video, Invest 93L. As of 8 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, August 26, 2023. Shower and thunderstorm activity continue to show signs of organization in association with an area of low pressure located near the Yucatan Channel. Environmental conditions appear conducive for further development of the system, and a tropical depression is likely to form within the next day or two while it generally moves northward over the southeastern Gulf of Mexico. Interests in the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, western Cuba, and Florida should monitor the progress of the system. Formation chance for 48 hours is now high at 70%. Formation chance for 7 days is nearly guaranteed at 90%. So if you live anywhere from Naples through Pensacola, Florida, make sure you're really closely watching Invest 93L over the next few days. So looking at the models, looking at the 6Z run of the GFS model, 6Z run of the GFS model has Franklin intensifying to a major hurricane by Monday, and then the GFS starts to develop 93L into a tropical depression just east of Cancun by Monday afternoon as well. And then as we go into Tuesday, we see potentially a tropical storm in the east central Gulf and a major hurricane Franklin just to the west of Bermuda. So Bermuda really be paying close attention to Franklin. Going into Wednesday, we could see impacts in Bermuda from Franklin, and then going into Wednesday, a strong tropical storm making landfall just south of Tallahassee, Florida, in the 6Z run of the GFS model. So make sure you're really closely watching Invest 93L in Florida, Alabama, and Georgia as heavy rain spreads into Alabama and Georgia on Wednesday and Thursday. And then Franklin gets picked up by a big low pressure. Now looks like Atlantic Canada is going to be spared Franklin as it passes to the southeast by Thursday in the GFS model. And we see the rain from the remnants of potential Idalia across the southeast through Thursday and Friday. So looking at the European model, the 0Z run of the European model for our tropical cyclones, Franklin and 93L, the European model intensifies Franklin into a major hurricane by Monday as well, and then a tropical depression forms between Cancun and Cuba by early Tuesday. Could see a tropical storm by Tuesday morning in the southeastern Gulf of Mexico, and then we see Franklin passing to the west of Bermuda as a major hurricane, and then going into the afternoon on Wednesday, we could see a weak Category 1 hurricane just north of Tampa, Florida, in the 0Z run of the European model, and then see a weak hurricane moving into Georgia by Wednesday afternoon and skirting the Carolina coast by Thursday. So more impacts across the Carolinas and the Euro. So make sure you're really watching Invest 93L from Florida through Georgia and the Carolinas and even Alabama, as now the Euro continues to indicate a Category 1 hurricane. And meanwhile, Franklin gets picked up in the Euro 2, and Nova Scotia and Newfoundland get spared the worst of the impacts of Franklin, thankfully. And then looking at the 0Z run of the Canadian model, the 0Z run of the Canadian model also shows a rapidly intensifying Franklin to a major hurricane by Monday, tropical depression in the southeastern Gulf of Mexico by Monday going into Tuesday, a strengthening tropical storm to a weak hurricane by Tuesday afternoon heading towards Tampa, Florida in the Canadian, and then we see a landfall in the Big Bend of Florida as a weak hurricane by early Wednesday morning. Franklin getting pulled to the northeast by the trough ejection, and thankfully all three models are now showing Franklin missing Atlantic Canada. So as of right now, Atlantic Canada, you are going to be spared from Franklin, but I'm going to continue to keep you guys updated in case the models shift back to the west. And meanwhile, Invest 93L in the Canadian brings torrential rains across central Florida, northern Florida, southeast Georgia, southeastern Carolinas, as it skirts the Carolina coast as a strong tropical storm through Wednesday and Thursday. So looking at some preliminary rainfall accumulations in the models, the GFS model is putting as much as 3 to 6 inches across the western Florida and the Florida panhandle, anywhere from 2 to 6 inches across southeast Alabama, and could see as much as 7 inches in isolated locations of Georgia, and a broad swath of 2 to 5 inches across the Carolinas. So flooding is going to be a concern, regardless of the strength of Invest 93L. Looking at rainfall accumulations, preliminary rainfall accumulations in the European model, the European model is a little bit lighter and a little bit further east, with about 2 to 5 inches in north central Florida, southeast Georgia, and the southeastern Carolinas. And then looking at the Canadian model for rainfall accumulations, Canadian model also more southeast, broad swath of 2 to 5 inches across Georgia and the Carolinas, and across Florida, the Canadian is putting as much as 5 to 8 inches in some isolated locations across Florida. So big flooding threat regardless of intensity from Invest 93L. And then looking at Zoom Earth for Franklin, 65 mile per hour tropical storm as of 8:40 a.m. Central American Time this morning, Sunday 1 a.m. Central American Time. 80 mile per hour Category 1 hurricane moving to the northwest, Sunday 1 p.m. Central American Time. 90 mile per hour Category 1 hurricane moving to the northwest, Monday 1 a.m. Central American Time. A 105 Category 2 hurricane moving to the north-northwest. By Monday 1 p.m. Central American Time, a 110 mile per hour Category 2 hurricane moving to the north. Franklin's now expected to become a major hurricane by Tuesday morning. 115 mile per hour Category 3 major hurricane curving to the northeast. The cone has shifted a little bit more towards Bermuda now, so make sure you're really watching Franklin in Bermuda. A 105 mile per hour Category 2 hurricane by Wednesday morning, and then an 85 mile per hour Category 1 hurricane curving to the northeast by Thursday morning, pushing to the southeast of Atlantic Canada now. So thanks for watching this morning's tropical update. Make sure you're really preparing for impacts from Invest 93L across Florida, southeast Alabama, Georgia, and the Carolinas, and watching Franklin closely in Bermuda. Thanks for watching. Please stay safe and have a wonderful day, my friends.